It is qualifying time at Shanghai. Welcome back to eSport. We are at round 2. The sprint has already taken place around this very special venue, very interesting corners, I would say. It's been won by F1 fan, our reigning champion. Matt came second in the Haas, throwing away the victory on this very back straight that he is racing on now. And third went to Toaster64, who is not here for this race now. Oh yes, he is. I am blind. Yeah, Toaster64 now takes 6th position. The first lap not really representative. Maybe towards the back we can see good times already. But it doesn't look like it. We got Russell 63 in here. That is Nadir. He raced under the name Nadir last time, and I think is also called that on the Discord. Then we get Smooth Operator in the other Jaguar. Martin Byrne not racing. Alonso 33 is back in the Visa Cash App Racing Bull alongside his teammate Pigeon. Alonso taking pole last time out and then leaving in the confusion before the red flag, and then he did not rejoin. And the V-Cubs are teaming up here. Alonso now quickly getting out of the way because Pigeon tried to go to the right, which is actually what Alonso should do in the teamwork game. And apart from that, we also have Glow in the second Haas, so pretty much the French one-time team from UMRL, the iconic OG lineup, also here for Haas. But Pigeon is now holding provisional pole position at 32.38. Toaster64 is 7/10 of that. That is quite astonishing for the moment. Alonso 33 is 5 more hundredths behind that. Then Guillermo, then Matt, and Smooth Operator. We don't have a drop zone here. It is just one big session of 10 minutes of qualifying. That is the big change going into our second qualifying session here, just because there are only 9 drivers and it doesn't make a lot of sense to split it up into 2 or 3 qualifyings. I find it kinda a shame, but also very, very understandable. Yeah, Alonso 33 now is the one behind. Pigeon has already managed to take provisional pole, and maybe the slipstream explains where he gained the most lap time in comparison to the others. Guillermo does also have a teammate today in F1 fan, and they seem to be the strongest lineup here. Matt and Glow also playing the team game, and of course Russell and Smooth Operator. Everybody is doing this because it's just beneficial on every racetrack in this league. In real life it's more like a Monza thing, very occasional spots in the racetracks. That's the case here, of course, as well. You don't want to necessarily be behind somebody in the snaily turn 1 and 2, but there's no dirty air, which is a nice thing. At the moment it would be F1 fan on the front row, but Guillermo, his teammate who's going ahead of him, has just beaten his time, and they are coming closer and closer to Pigeon as half of the session is almost over. Matt and Glow very close to each other on track here, and also in the timing table, 500ths separating them. Matt is actually Glow is actually tied with Alonso. And the Jaguars struggling so far. Majumdar, of course, in case you missed the breaking news at the end of the last video, has been classified as last at the Australian Grand Prix because he apparently, or allegedly, he replaced Muhar, but that was not the case. Muhar didn't race before the red flag, and therefore that was kind of the compromise between a DSQ and giving him the podium. As the Jaguars once again seem to warm up here. Let's maybe take one trip around the track here. Smooth operator actually quite nailing that first two corners where you have to turn in very late, then through the hairpin and the swooping S corners, and into a double left-hander through the chicane, and accelerating quite quickly in this game down onto the back straight. Smooth operator letting Russell by before the hairpin. And can Russell improve his time with the help of his teammate? No, he can't. The last corner on this track is flat out here. Alonso and Pigeon also approaching the last few corners, and the McLaren duo is just going ahead of them. F1 fan now is on provisional pole ahead of Pigeon. They have made it. Are they now gonna swap around again? F1 fan took sprint pole yesterday, with Guillermo pretty much sacrificing his final run for his teammate, and that's why they could manage the front row lockout. Guillermo now in the slipstream of F1 fan, but once again he's been led through. That is interesting. Does F1 fan not want to give the slipstream to his teammate now? Or what is going on there? Russell is now also in here. It's getting quite tight. Of course, we do have collisions activated, which is a unique feature of this league as well, just for realism, and it makes it interesting with the slipstream game. But you have to respect the blue flags here, as Guillermo is on a flying lap. Maybe Russell is as well, though. Guillermo passing Russell in the hairpin, now through the flat out last corner, that's what I said. And Guillermo not improving his time here. Glow is now up to 4th position. I think Alonso 33 didn't have a significant improvement for a few minutes now. Pigeon still going behind him. Pigeon still on the front row. I think they should swap round. And that's what they're going to do, heading into the 15th lap of qualifying. Looking very clean so far, dipping a wheel onto the grass after the hairpin, and Guillermo kinda holding up the pair of them there. Not a super clean lap by Alonso. Maybe it should be enough for an improvement, but what are they doing now? Pigeon goes into the pit lane. Alonso, well, that's not going to be an improvement. Well, what's going to happen now? Alonso is left in 5th position, and now without a teammate as well. He backs off, trying to get Pigeon to get close to him again. Glow and Matt doing their own thing on the other side of the racetrack. Matt still slipstreaming his teammate. There is no tire wear actually in this, or in qualifying in general. So I don't exactly know why 3 drivers pitted now. Two laps left here. Oh no, actually who is the leading driver on track? It is Glow. So we are not gonna have... Oh no, it's Toaster. Yeah, so we're not gonna have final lap. Toaster 64 doing his own thing here, going through the final corner for the final time and not improving. 32.78, that's all he can manage, tied with Alonso. Maybe he even set that time first, I'm not sure. Glow crossing the line, not improving anymore. Matt doesn't either, and then we are going to have to wait for our Constructors Champions. Guillermo in the slipstream of his teammate. F1 fan backing off once again. Oh no, this time it's the other way around. Guillermo improving. 32.48, but he stays in third. That's where he was already. F1 fan not putting anything in anymore. And Pigeon brings home the front row at the very least. The 10 minutes of qualifying are over, and they certainly were interesting. The team game is something very, very important in this league. Pigeon is annoyed about Williams, although there is no Williams team. And so here is the starting grid for the Chinese Grand Prix. F1 fan, for the first time ever in this league, starts on pole position. Pigeon lines up alongside him, just 500 behind the reigning champion. Guillermo is in third in the second McLaren, ahead of Glow. Great qualifying position for the Haas team. Alonso and Toaster will be on the third row, ahead of Matt in the second Haas, and the two Jaguars are in P8 and 9, and we will have Sigma Bob start in 10th for the race. Join us when the 5 red lights go out at Shanghai.